All right, guys, what's happening? I think I'm going to try to do these live streams and also incorporate like what I was going to talk about anyway, just like news of the day. Kind of like a one-trick pony here. But Bitcoin coming in 72,767. Bitcoin hit a new all-time high last night while I was sleeping. I believe 73 something, 73.5, something like that. Overall, meme coins just kind of chilling. Bitcoin still in the show. XRP. It looks like XRP wants to go right back down to 63 cents. Not too happy about that. XRP really is a pile of dog shit. But I do still think we're going to all make money on XRP. Cardano holding on great, 74 cents, 75. I mean, really for a top tier coin, you really can't expect much more than that. Dogecoin holding on strong. Shiba, pulling back, but it was pumping hard the last couple of weeks. Litecoin just under $100. I think it is overall healthy that we're seeing Litecoin hold on at least above $95. As you guys know, Litecoin was $63 just a couple weeks ago. And I saw that Theta is still over $3 at $3.33. So overall, everything looking pretty good. You got some of these coins have pumped really hard, like Rune. A lot of these AI coins, Floki, that's been going crazy, which unfortunately I never had any of that. All right. Bitcoin price nails new 73.6 all-time high as ETFs eat away at supply. Bitcoin bulls have no time for long pullbacks as Bitcoin price dips to 69,000 is swiftly canceled to be replaced with new record highs. Yeah, it seems like every time we get a dip in Bitcoin, then we just make an all-time high. I made a live stream yesterday. I think Bitcoin was like 69,000 something or other. We were at 72, then dipped down to 69. I'm like, okay, this is probably a dump. Maybe we're going to get like a 30% dump. The minute I start the live stream, Bitcoin goes right back up to 72,000. So overall, extremely bullish right now. I think the main question on everybody's mind is, with all these meme coin pumping right now, are we kind of hitting like a local top? Like, how high can we really go before the Bitcoin halving? And since we're in uncharted territory right now, nobody really knows. So I'm basically just as clueless as everybody else. I'm waiting for a pullback, and then every time I wait for a pullback, we end up making a new all-time high. So I don't really know. I don't really know what that means, but all the articles are overall positive. Bitcoin eyes 74,000 as Bitcoin ETFs see record 1 billion. So as long as we keep getting money pumping into these ETFs, which honestly, I really didn't expect this much money to be pumping into the ETFs. I'm actually kind of shocked. As long as we get people buying the ETFs, Bitcoin's going to pump. Spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds took in 17,000 Bitcoin, over 1 billion in net inflows over Tuesday, data tracker by BitMEX. I mean, these ETFs now have been around for a couple months, and still every day money is just flowing in like there's no tomorrow. I mean, who could have predicted this? Bitcoin reversed Tuesday's decline to climb above 73,000 early Wednesday. Spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds noted the highest inflows in both Bitcoin and dollar terms since they started trading in January. Yeah, we've had these ETFs since January. And like, you would think like we would have had a spike in ETF and then kind of like leveled out and then slowly go down. But no, we just keep getting more and more people going into these ETFs. So that's why we're seeing Bitcoin. It's the only reason we're seeing Bitcoin as high as it is right now before the halving. Remember, the thing that usually makes Bitcoin pump is the supply shock, right? The Bitcoin halving. Okay, we have less Bitcoin on the market. It's going to go up in value. That hasn't even happened yet, right? This is all ETF. So what the hell is going to happen once we get the supply shock in April? Maybe we will go to 150,000 or 200,000 like everybody says. And I thought all those people were crazy. But heck, at this point, I mean, I love it. It's very interesting, uncharted territory. But man, like I can't wrap my head around it. Bitcoin's price behavior suggests institutional investors are leading the market activity. Yes, and that's another thing. Most of these inflows right now are institutional investors. You know, like your retail money, they're slowly trickling in. But I'll be honest with you, I got a few friends talking about Bitcoin, but it's nowhere like it was back in 2022, where I go to the bar, my friend Joe, who knows nothing about investing, he starts talking about Bitcoin. Then the bartender, he hears us talking about Bitcoin. He's coming in, oh yeah, I just bought some Shiba. Like the Uber driver, I swear to God, I would get drunk, leave my car at the bar. The Uber driver on the way home is talking about Bitcoin. Like, we're not at that level yet, and we're probably not going to be there until summer after the halving. Bitcoin price behavior suggests institutional investors are leading the activity. Yeah, so like I said, no, retail is really not into this game yet. So we are still early as far as beating the retail investors. Overall, meme coins, you know, the one thing on my mind always with these meme coins is the meme coins have essentially led this bull run to start. I mean, if you look at like the Cardano meme coins, the meme coins on Solana, these newer meme coins that are popping up every day, they're doing like a 20, 30, 40x in an hour. How is this possible? Like, we should be hitting, this always represents a top, at least a short-term top in the market. And we have to be wary of that. As much as these meme coins, you know, if you look, Floki Inu up 92% over the last 7 days, 44%. I'm not going to name all the meme coins, but you just go down the list. You see some of these coins up 30, 40. Here's one right here, 500% ERC20. What is that even a coin? The meme coin is ERC20. Grok 88%. Can't even pronounce that one. But you got like the Trump coin, the Biden coin, the Ponky, the Donkey, the Bonky, the Pitbull. They're all up. So we should be dumping. But the thing that's keeping us up right now is this whole Bitcoin ETF thing. So are we going to get like a huge dump at some point, either after the halving, before the halving? Yeah, we have to. We have to. And I think it's going to be a nasty one. And I think it's going to be a dump that makes a lot of people think the bull market is over. I mean, here, Shiba Inu emerges as a meme coin leader with 31 billion surge. That's a lot of money. I mean, they're going into like a meme coin, right? Shiba Inu rockets past Dogecoin and Solana to regain supremacy as week's top meme coin. I guess this was from like a couple of days ago. But yeah, I mean, this can't go forever. There has to be some sort of major pullback collapse, in my opinion, before we go back up. But, you know, who freaking knows at this point? Here's some Gareth, and I want to play some Gareth Soloway wisdom. We were talking about Gareth Soloway yesterday and just how overall wrong he's been over the last year. But I want to play this clip, just him talking about a Bitcoin collapse, a stock market collapse. This was from 8 months ago. So could you be any more wrong than this? I'm just going to play a few minutes of it because it's always fun to make fun of Gareth Soloway.
More than 50% off of the all-time highs. And so the idea is, if you had the NASDAQ just go back to the October lows, and that's that big of a drop, do we really think that Bitcoin is not going to at least retest that 15,700 level when it's only this small of a drop here? And so I would dare say that if you got a bigger corrective move, if we went into a deeper recession, I do think that Bitcoin could potentially go even as low as my lowest worst case scenario, 9 to 10,000 before bottoming and eventually turning up in a massive way.
Right, but what you're showing, though, is that the correlation between Bitcoin and NASDAQ has actually reduced to a degree. I mean, the patterns and the charts look similar, but if you're saying, the NASDAQ is only 10% from its high, whereas Bitcoin is about 50% from its all-time high, doesn't it seem as though the correlation between the two is drifting?
Well, it still looks like there's a correlation. It's just that, unfortunately, the interest in Bitcoin has fallen dramatically, and institutions are not stepping in, versus over here, the NASDAQ clearly has been the recipient of so much money flow. So my fear is that with less interest in Bitcoin only driving it up this much versus where it was at the all-time highs, and so much interest in stocks, if that were to reverse, do you see more panic hitting Bitcoin and driving it back to the lows? I mean, for all we know, maybe the NASDAQ only pulls back to 12 12.5, but Bitcoin just alone would then go back to the lows. So I think right now there's still a risk on, risk off correlation there with the stock market. But I do think eventually it changes and becomes the digital gold that we all hope it does. I just don't think we're there yet. People in the crypto industry are way too emotional for us to be back to be at digital gold yet.
But we do also have the potential BlackRock spot ETF coming through.
True.
Which many, and we have the halving in April.
And I would just say about that too is, interestingly enough, 2007's top on Bitcoin marked the futures launch of Bitcoin. 2021 marked the ETF on the futures, and then the BlackRock news this time on the ETF marked the short-term top. So it's interesting how these news events trigger tops versus what everyone is hoping for is the big breakout. Now, just to be clear, I think the ETF is going to be a game changer. It's going to be a validation of Bitcoin to most retail investors, even older retail investors that don't have any exposure. But I just don't necessarily see that as a short-term catalyst versus the potential for downside via the stock market.
All right. So in your scenario, to end the second half of the year, you still see a really big correction happening in the equity markets second half of the year into the first quarter of 2024 and dragging Bitcoin down with it.
I do. I think that.
All right. So you can't be any more wrong than that. I don't know, guys. I shit on guy. He seems like a nice guy. I'm just pissed off he sells those trading courses. I mean, look, we're all wrong in crypto at some point. But could you be any more wrong? And not only that, to be wrong. So he was calling for a stock market crash and a Bitcoin crash. I mean, I don't know. He really did put all his eggs in one basket. He really did. Freaking crazy. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna, maybe I'll do another live stream later, depending on what's going on in the markets. See if there's anything here. All right, guys, that's it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.